Hey guys, Romie here, so please like, comment, subscribe. This is my review for Greenleaf. Queen Sugar, because Greenleaf's coming back in August, so that's why I've been on the brain. But Queen Sugar, Season 2, Episode 2, to Usward. Now, I apologize for this being up a little bit later than it should have been. Actually, like 12 hours later than it should have been, but I did something that I normally don't do. I slept. I had a great sleep. And I slept some more. Obviously, I went to work today, but we're just going to jump right into this again. I apologize. Please like, comment, subscribe. I normally do these reviews every week. I do TV show reviews like every other day, just in case you're a new person watching me. Now, it starts off with all the ladies' favorite, Ralph Angel. Ralph Angel's talking to Darla, and he's trying to set up a little date. He has Blue in the car with him. He shows up at her job, and they have a little date scheduled, so that's going to be nice. Now, this episode is centered around actually this movement that Nova has going on. It's for black men, black poor men who are incarcerated and don't even have the funds to get out of jail. So she goes to the barbershop to try and see how much she was able to raise. And it was borderline empty. It was borderline empty, so this guy who was getting his hair done, he gave some money to his son and told his son to give it to Miss Nova. And the barber gave her some money as well. He said, come back by the end of the day. I'm sure we'll be able to go and raise some more funds. She actually gives this nice, rousing speech about how, I know you and you were affected by this, so come on. And just thinking about all the men, all the fathers, all the young boys who are incarcerated for no real reason, for some BS reason if there is one given, and they don't have the funds to get out of there. And they're like, okay, so they donate a little bit more. And then she also talked about how she's going to have this event, this rally at night, and she would like for all of them to show up. So they said, okay, they'll think about it. Now, Nova gets home, and while she's home, she sees Charlie. She sees Aunt Vi, and I think she also sees Charlie, but she's telling Aunt Vi what's going to be happening today. Here's the issue. Nova goes in because Nova doesn't even know that Micah is going back to school. Micah, unfortunately, he's still affected as he should be because we don't know what happened to him while he was in jail. That's the problem. We don't know what happened to him while he was in jail. So because of that, we're just seeing him like, oh my God, what did they do to him? But just think about it. Like I said in the last review, this was a sheltered young boy who had a very harsh reality thrusted upon him. So he's in shock right now. Nova goes in and tries to talk to him and tells him, well, if you need to talk, let me know. I'm here for you. Because she was really trying to see if she could get the information out of him, but he wasn't giving it. He wasn't giving it up. He was trying to be strong, trying to keep it in. Charlie's there, and this is where we find out that Charlie, which she was trying to keep it a secret, of course, in Charlie fashion, that she is trying to get the divorce finalized today. Everyone knew that she was getting that done, but they didn't know that it was today. So she goes and tells Nova, and Nova was like, what? So then Vi's like, what? So then she had to go and say it again. They're like, we'll have you back. We'll be down there. Trust me, we'll be right there. She's like, no, I want to do this on my own. I want to do this on my own. I'm in control. I'm a boss. I got this. Like her usual thing, even though her crew's ready. Her family are ready. They're on deck. They're riding for her. And Charlie talks about how, no, I got this. I can deal with this. And, Micah, we talked about it, and he's fine with it. I said BS. I know Micah isn't feeling his father right now, but he's not just fine with this. So let's stop that mess. Aside from that, there's also the thing of, she's like, I have Micah's back in school. We're cool. He's fine. I got him. Oh, but I said, this is your family. If your family can't have you back, then who can? So then they go and leave because Micah comes in. It's like, okay, have a nice day. Now, Ralph Angel, he's down by, he's trying, by the farmer's market. We'll say the farmer's market. He's trying to get some new seed. And it looks like it's going to be soy plants that they're planting, which we already knew. They're trying to figure out how much that's going to cost. Now, Blue went and was trying to feed the chickens. He was like, oh, stop that. The farmer said, look. The merchant said, wait a minute. Blue used to come down here all the time and on by. It's cool with your or with his grandpa. It's fine. It's like, oh, okay. Well, you know it's gonna cost you doing this at this time and this volume. He said, oh yeah, I know. So he's gonna see if he can get someone to buy it. Now he just goes and tries to get money out of the business account. This is when he finds out that he's no longer authorized to get the money out himself. From now on, he'll have to get the money out with Charlie. Remember, Charlie was upset that she didn't know about his decision to essentially go and fix the tractor instead of consulting her on whether they should buy a new one or try to fix the old one. So Charlie, being the control freak that she is, even with her own family, decided, you know what? I'm going to ensure that you can't just go do things behind my back. I said, that's not going to work. Ralph Angel isn't going to go for that. Ralph Angel is at the High Yellow now with Blue because he's trying to convince Aunt Vi. Here we go, Aunt Vi. Can you please watch him? Can you please watch him? And he said, why? Well, I have to do some work and I just need for you to watch him a couple hours. Oh, okay. Aunt Vi's bugging out because everything's going wrong at the High Yellow. The fridge isn't working, so the meats are going bad. Of course, they can't sell it, even if it was for only the fridge is out for a couple hours because of the new food regulations. All of the stuff's going bad at once. It's like, wait a minute. You want me to watch my baby and deal with all this? Well, of course I will because it's my baby. And then Blue goes and says, Aunt Vi, can we make me some spaghetti? Because I was going to have that the restaurant that they was going to. Aunt Vi said, what? Because remember, Ralph Angel, I said he wanted to go and take Darla out on a date tonight. So then Ralph Angel had to come clean and say that he wants to take Darla on a date. And of course, because of the situation, he didn't say that in the first place. And Aunt Vi said, well, because you know. And he's like, yeah, I know. It's like, okay, but you know that I'm you know what you're getting yourself into? Yeah, I know what I got myself into. All right, as long as you're sure. As long as you're sure. And by doing that, she'll go and watch. Well, it's weird because originally it seemed like she was going to go and watch. I'm not sure what happened a little bit later on because that did not happen. What we do know is it was weird. Nova comes in because she wants to talk to, well, all the people there. And I know I'm jumping ahead because I'm doing this a little bit out of order. Because she saw Ralph Angel and she was telling him about the fundraiser that she's doing. And she wanted him to be there because she wanted to see some male representation since that's the group that's being affected most. And the fact that he was incarcerated and if he just had the bail money and all that stuff. He understands all of that. And so she was like, no, I have this thing going on tonight. I have a lot going on at the farm. I said, you have a date. You have a date. You can shorten that date and bring yourself down there. That's what you can do. I said, he is not trying to get out of doing a fundraiser when there's someone trying to help us. For Darla? Okay. Now, he also all at the High Yellow now. He's still there. Remy's there. He talks to Remy and he talks about he's going to need some seed and all of that and money for it. But then he tells him, look, Charlie went and changed things around. So now I'm unable to go and do it myself. I have to do it with the help of Charlie. And Remy said, you know what? Me and Charlie, we're not in a good place. And because we're not in a good place, I can't just go and ask her for things like you think I can. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Oh, my eyes. I need to wash my face. Oil's running in my eyes. My God, dang. Ow, 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 ow. Okay. Now, you can tell that something's off with our dude, Remy. And Remy, he's a good guy. He was just telling Ralph Angel, look, me and your sister, aside from the farm, we have nothing else going on. He said, oh, okay. And because of that, I can't help you with that. But what you can do is, why don't you go and get a small business loan? It's for farmers like you. You know, you need to just show that you're working, that you have a steady income coming in, and they'll help you out. It's fine because it's for people who are trying to get back on their feet. It's perfect that you have a past, a criminal past. look, it may help you out, the fact that you're still able to do all of this, even though you have all of that. He said, really? Yeah, you can do it. I have faith in you. They will too. You need to put that faith in yourself. Stop relying on your family. Go and show them that you're the boss. I said, uh-oh. Now that Remy isn't as close with Charlie as he was before, now the tide has changed. Charlie, you better watch it. You better watch it. Now, speaking of Charlie, she's at the lawyer's house, office. Davis is there. Davis wants to go and talk to her. Davis says he has something on his mind he wants to bring up to her. She was like, what? Well, it's very important. So then the lawyer's going to leave, and she was, not unsure about that because the divorce proceedings have been going pretty smooth. Of course they have, because she knows so much on him. She has so much on him. Of course it would. But he lets it be known that, hey, friend, pal, here's how this really works. I want, what do you call it? I almost said dual custody. I'm trying to think the phrasing. Not partial custody, shared custody. You know what shared custody is? I just can't think of that dang word. And she's like, what? Yeah, I want to have as much involvement in my son's life as you, and not just, see him on the weekends and on specific times. I want to share our son, because especially now with what happened to him, he needs you more than ever. She said, Micah doesn't need you. He told me himself he doesn't need you. We'll be all right. We'll be fine. David said, wait a minute. Micah told me he would actually like for me to be more involved in his life and for me to be around. And I'm thinking, I can believe this. After what happened and seeing that his father had his back and was able to help him, and he's a man, and certain things he doesn't want to say to his mom. I'm sorry, Charlie, that's the reality. That's your reality that you have to deal with your son, who doesn't necessarily want to tell you certain things or show you certain sides of himself. And that's what's going on right now. She looked broken. She looked like, oh my God. Why? That's how she looked. And she ran out of there as soon as lawyers came back in, because they were like, what the heck is going on in here? She's like, no, you're not doing this. You're not doing this. She goes and calls Micah, and she gets him. Micah isn't at school because she was at his school. And Micah said, I just need some time. It's like, yeah, but there's no way. School just let out. You can't be downtown already. It was like, I just need some time. What friends are you? Are you with friends? Yeah. Me, Kiki? No. Well, who? Well, Mom, I just need my space right now. Be alone. Again, another moment where Charlie she died inside. You saw that look of she was dead. She was this. She was dead. She was dead. That was it. I felt bad because I'm like, dang, this woman's just trying to hold on so strong and so long to her family that now she's over it. She was really over it. Did anyone else notice the product placement with that Range Rover? I appreciate this show so much because it's expensive product placement if you look at it. I'm like, dang Oprah, dang Ava. Shout out to y'all. I'll have me one soon enough. Praise God. Now, once the conversation was over, because Charlie said, yeah, I'll give you your space, and she was just dying inside, Nova went back to the barbershop that she went to at the beginning of the episode, and we'll call him D, the barber. D, I believe him and Nova had a prior relationship because he gave her that, donation and it was filled. She said, dang, and then he put in more money into it. And he was just trying to let her know that he's here for her. She got herself a strong black man when she wants her one. Nova, do it! Do it! You're trying to replace this dude who didn't share the same values as you with all these other dudes that don't even necessarily look like him, but they're all white and I guess fit a certain type. And you got this brother over here who's saying, I love you, I want to support you. I understand that you want to go and do what you want to do, but at some point, you need to have someone that has your back and all of your interest. Now, back at the High Yella, Roberta is over it. Roberta looks like she's about to faint. I said, oh, is she working too hard for once? No. She heard that the rig that Hollywood's on, something happened. Essentially, that there was an explosion. Because it took her 10 minutes to say that there was a fire and that there was an explosion. And that look on Vi's face. I mean, all of the acting on this show was amazing. So she goes and calls him, and she gets his voicemail. She almost died. She almost died. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm not being dramatic. That look and that feeling that I know she had at that moment, she was almost gone. That was it. That was it. Now we see our Micah walking downtown, all around downtown. I guess now it's time to get back. And he tries to get on the bus. He doesn't have the correct, he doesn't have a transfer. So because he doesn't have a transfer, he was trying to use his old, bus card. Of course, that wouldn't work. He didn't have any money on him. So she was like, you know what? There's someone else behind you. He was like, oh, okay, sorry. And then the bus left without him. And I said, oh, Jesus, cold, cold world. So we see him just walking down the streets, seeing everything. And we also see Ralph Angel. He's on his date with, what's the woman's name? With Darla. I knew it. I just didn't want to say it. I don't know. I'm not feeling that name for her. I'm not. Darla. But guess who's with them? Blue. Blue is with them. Now, clearly, Blue isn't used to being in the restaurant because you know that when you're in the restaurant, when you're in those type of places where you have to be quiet, you can still be a little playful, but quiet. No. Blue has Keisha out, and he's twirling her around. He's like, again, that's not the issue. The issue is he's making a little bit of noise. So I was just like, Blue, get it together. Blue, sit down. Stop bothering them, Blue. Come on, we got to go and eat. And at one point, she was like, sit down. I was like, that's right. So I was like, first of all, once part of me said, don't say that to little Blue. Girl, we barely like you. So don't say that to little Blue. But I had to catch myself and say, that's his mother. She's showing him that she doesn't play. Clearly, she's going to be the bad cop while Ralph Angel's the good cop. And you have to remember, Ralph Angel knows his son. She's still getting to know her son. So because of that, Ralph Angel knows that he has raised and treated Blue a certain way and has disciplined him a certain way. He isn't giving her that type of concern. So even when she does that, he still gives him that reassurance. And in that moment, I appreciate it because they have two different styles. And if Blue's used to Ralph Angel's style versus Darla, he still has to show it's with love, so don't worry about it. Now, Darla and Ralph Angel is just having a general chit-chat. They haven't been on a regular date in a long time. So they're trying to get that together, have small talk, kind of talk about the business and how he went and applied for that business loan. It looks like they want to give it to him, and he's really happy about that, which means he wouldn't have to get the money from Charlie anymore for little things that happen on the farm. And Darla loves this because she's like, ooh, her man taking control just like she wanted so that he can kind of break away from the family. I see what you're doing, Darla. You ain't slick. You're not slick. But while that's going on, we see that poor Charlie. She's calling. She can't get a hold of Micah. She still can't get a hold of him, and she leaves a voicemail. And there's that. Back at the restaurant, we see this waiter who is, they may or may not get dessert. Blue wants dessert. Well, he's saying Keisha wants dessert. And the waiter's like, oh, so that's Keisha? And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it'd be really cool, man, if you had Transformers. I said, it'd be really cool if I gave you this dang tip or not. Who asked you? Who asked you? Who? That's what I want to know. Blue is showing love and affection and attention to this doll. Blue is going to be a good man. What? We're not coming after Blue. Like, hey, if I had the doll and I was growing, first of all, that wasn't going to happen. For two reasons. One, I actually despise the dolls. I actually destroyed them and gonna stab them. I mean, if I still did the same thing to my action figures, imagine how horrible I was. I actually went bang bang. Something was wrong with me. It was. I was destructive. I was. I was quiet, but I was destructive. I sure was. I destroyed all my toys. They should not. Once they served their purpose, because I like things to be realistic. Even as a little kid, I want to be realistic. So if I saw a car get shot up, stab, 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 stab. And if I'm like, oh, a car can get into a car accident, so can you. I'd throw that thing in the tub. I'd bang it against the wall. I'd smash it on the side. Dang. 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 But Ralph Angel had that look of, I'm going to cut you. Say something else to my child. Actually, he and Keisha are going to have 2 scoops of ice cream sundae. Thank you very much. Keep the sprinkles. Do we have a problem? Sir. No, we don't. I said, that's right. You better protect your son. Now, Charlie, she goes over to Remy's and she's like, you know what? He was like, oh, hard day. And it was like, yeah, the divorce proceedings didn't go as planned. He said, no, it was hard for me too. It was the death of, Shonda. Or that's what I'm calling her. That's what we'll say his wife's name is, at least for this episode. And essentially he says what happened to his wife. She's like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I didn't know. No, it's fine. You can come in. She actually died on this day. She was in the Army Reserves. And one day when she was with her troops driving over an IED, I think it's an IED or an IED, it blew up and that was the end of her. And I'm just so, what the, Bigsby, stop it. No. My phone is really that nosy. At least it works. But what ended up happening is she died. And the father, as in Charlie's father, was there for him. So that's why he has so much love and loyalty to the family. That's where it came from. And while that was happening, we saw this parallel as the story was progressing to where on 5 was where they, the guys who were on the rig were being dropped off. And she was waiting for Hollywood because she didn't know if he was alive or not. And she was like, oh my God. I was like, if Hollywood's dead, I was like, I know he's going to be alive, but you better not do some stupid twist like that on me. Nope. Thank the Lord. He was alive. He ran to Aunt Vi and she ran to him and they hugged and embraced and didn't let each other go. They didn't let each other go. I said, that's right. That's right. Let this bring you two together. And don't let no stupid stuff tear you two apart. Now, while we're at the rally, which the cops came, but I was like, but then I had to remember, this is a public thing, so the cops are supposed to be there. I said, okay, I got it. The cops were just watching. They didn't arrest anyone. They didn't stop anyone. There was this man who was actually at the barber shop earlier in the day, and he said after hearing Nova's speech, he remembered how it was for him, how his family wasn't able to afford to make bail, and because of that, he lost his job. His wife and his daughter or child actually got evicted. Things went crazy. So it's like we need to go and protect our men, protect our young men, protect our poor. And I was just thinking about Jay-Z going and bailing out fathers on Father's Day. I was like, see, Jay-Z has paid it forward in so many more ways than the media will ever express. And that's why I really, aside from loving his music and of course his wife and his family, I respect him. And so Nova went on stage and she started talking, and you could tell that the police looked like they won. They're not one to be a problem. Like, if even one person yells too loud, this could pop off. That's the vibe that I kind of got. Now it's time to pay up at the restaurant, and what ends up happening is because of Ralph Angel trying to show the waiter that, oh, he's got this. Ralph Angel only had enough money to pay everything, including the tip, if it weren't for the dessert. But he was like, I had to show up for my son. Darla says, I'm working. I got you covered. I'll cover the tip. He said, no, but I'm supposed to be a man. I'm supposed to do this. You're supposed to do that. She said, look, I know we're trying to take the necessary steps, but we have history. We know each other. We're supposed to be meeting each other where we are in life. So I got you. There's no games that need to be played. I got you. And I appreciated that. I appreciate how she said that and how it came off. So then Ralph Angel, he went into the, what is it called? He went into his car, got on the phone because Blue was like, I'm ready to go. Because Ralph Angel didn't want to leave the tip, but Darla said, we need to show Blue that we're better than the people who at that one. I said, I respect that. I really do. I really do. Rob Angel said, you know what? I'm going to make sure I have everything I need to the bank in order to get this loan going, and we're going to make it happen. At the end of the episode, it's Charlie talking to Remy, and Remy is just kind of saying how it's just kind of going over everything in the day, and that maybe Charlie needs to take time for herself and get her own life in order and her family in order before she entertains a new relationship. I figured, you know what? That's true. And at the end of the episode, the real end of the episode, we see Nova. Um, she sees Micah, and Micah just tells her, I couldn't go to school. I just couldn't deal with it. I just couldn't handle it. It's just all too much. And she said, I know, I got you. I love you. I support you. And that was it. But I'm glad because Micah was there the whole time listening to everyone's words and their experiences. And that allowed him to open up. Kind of like how, Narcotics Anonymous helped Starla open up and deal with all of her stuff. So that was it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week.